Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you the daily Tesla report for Friday, December 2nd, 2022. Before I jump into the charts, just want to encourage you to please click like each and every time you watch the daily Tesla report. It helps us out a great deal in being found on YouTube. The more likes we get relative to views, the better the algorithms tweak in the direction for Tesla requests on YouTube for Tesla analysis. We also have the daily Apple report as well that you might look at. Subscribing to the Wicked Stocks channel will also provide you notification each and every time new content has been uploaded. And we're doing the daily Apple and daily Tesla report each and every day. And if you would, please share the content with friends and colleagues. So this is the weekly chart. I like to start with the weekly chart because I always like to start with the big picture. And the big picture is basically the underlying current, if you will, of the market. We have recently come off that targeted long-term support. It was an objective following an early October sell signal. If you've been following the Tesla report for the last few months, you know that the first week of October, we had a sell signal when we gapped below all this area. There was a speed line we closed below, and that set us on a 2 to 3 month target into this channel support that we've tested quite a bit over the last couple of weeks. We even closed below it barely on a daily basis. That was on a Monday a couple of weeks ago. And at the time I said, not so fast. We need to see how that plays out on that following Tuesday. If we gapped lower and continued south, then we have ourselves a sell signal that would likely play out in the weeks to follow, but that did not happen. And as it turns out, we came off that support area, and here we are. Here we are. So following the test of this long-term support, presently in the 168.70 to 167.81 region, I use weekly chart levels on these 4-star support areas. Holding above that, once tested, I'd mentioned a 1 to 2 week target at a formation that is presently at 205.57. Combination descending channel top and 1/3 speed line projected off that August high. 205.57 is in reach today if we happen to push or open above this near-term rising channel top today at 200.96. This formation did roughly hold yesterday. We did push through it by almost a full point, as I recall, maybe not quite that much, but you can see that it held pretty well, and 200.96 can continue to contain intraday buying pressures, and below which we may fall to this meaningful channel top at 186.23 today. I don't have an indication of that. You know, yesterday's low was 191.80. So if we break yesterday's low of 191.80, we could test 186.23 intraday, where I would anticipate a daily low. And from there, perhaps rally back within 2 or 3 days to 205.57. We could trade inside the 186.23 to 205.57 area for the next few days. Now, upside today, if we push or open above 200.96, I would expect 205.57. This combination channel top speed line able to contain buying through next week, possibly into later December, and from there we could fall off within a couple of weeks back to long-term support in the 168.70 to 176.81 region. But this long-term support in the 168.70 to 176.81 region is 1 year in the making, and it doesn't take a stretch to consider the possibility for rallying up to even higher levels than 205.57 over the next few weeks. We could rally into the lower 260s over the next few months. And if we close today above 205.57, then we could reach, and there's your 263 area, we could reach 263, I'm reluctant to say by the end of December, but within 3 to 5 weeks as we continue into early to mid-January, we could reach that 263, where is it? 263.61 area. And that would be clearly indicated if we close today above 205.57. So 205.57 is a pivot point through December. We can test it and fall off into later December back to long-term support. And if we close above it, we have yet another meaningful buy signal that should play out into later December, whereby the lower 260s then anticipated within 3 to 5 weeks of closing above 205.57. Let's talk downside today. If we happen to close below 186.23, this short-term Short-term by whose measure? Short-term by some measure. It could be considered long-term channel top if you're a day trader. But 186.23, once again, able to contain session weakness. And if we close today below 186.23, we should early next week, Monday, Tuesday, fall back into this long-term support region where once again we can bottom out through Q1 and above which we could. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this is such a long-term channel structure that we've now tested that we could, by, let's say, the end of the second quarter, by the middle part of next year, reach channel resistance that I don't even have noted here, but it's in the low 300 area right now, in the 310s, 320s. So keep that in mind. If you're a big picture trader, investor in Tesla, you can bottom pick the 160s, 170s long-term support in anticipation of the 300s, 310s, 320s over the next, 3 to 5 months, 5 to 8 months, something like that. That's sort of a big picture target. And closing once again above 205.57 is yet another reason to be long Tesla. At this point in time, if you're a longer term trader, or a near-term investor, let's call it the 3 to 5 week time frame to 2 to 3 month time frame, there's no good reason to be long Tesla. If we close below 168.70, then we unravel back into the 120s within a month or two, and possibly even lower as we move into later Q1. But at this point at time right now, not only did we test long-term support, but this week we're probably going to close above the high of the weekly low, which is an added level of support for this market. And once again, if we close today above 205.57, that is yet another sign for follow-through buying as we move into later December. I really don't have much else to say beyond that. All the minor points have been carefully chosen. 191.80, 94.70, 98.58. And 200.96 is the more notable. It is our pivot point for the day, below which 186.23 is in reach. 186.23 is essentially an intraday objective, clearly below the 191.80 low from Thursday. And upside, if we push or open above 200.96, expect 205.57 intraday. Closing above 205.57, 222.90 is expected within 3 to 5 days. The lower 260s once again within probably 3 to 5 weeks. And that is all I have for Friday's Daily Tesla Report. Please click like if you would. I'll be back Sunday afternoon with Monday's Tesla. You have a great weekend.